What is up, dudes and dudettes? It is Scott coming to you with another video. I'll just cut to the point. Today we're going to be talking about some medical stuff. This is near and dear to my heart because I don't know why, I just find it super fascinating even though I am not in the medical field. Through several hunts I have noticed personally that a lot of other hunters only bring a couple band-aids, and that seems like a major issue to me when you're backcountry hunting. So today we're going to be going over what I have in my medical bag. First, we'll start with the fact that it is red and stands out from the rest of my gear because, as most of you guys know, red is pretty much the universal color of medical stuff. It doesn't have a cross on it because I got this pack for like $1.50 from Amazon. Super cheap, works real good. Inside of here, it's real thick and I can hold a whole lot of stuff. Like so. All right, I know what you guys are thinking. Dang, Scott, this is a whole lot of stuff. Ounces equal pounds, pounds equal pain. I don't have room in my pack for all this. Well, I'll be completely honest. I know I carry more than most. I would rather make sure that myself and my friends I go out hunting with can come home safe rather than sorry. So I'm okay with carrying a little bit more. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm so big on working out and staying in shape. I'd rather be able to carry a couple extra ounces to make sure that I'm safe, I'm ethical, and I'm having fun and making sure that we're good to go in any situation. We'll go into some of the gear that I have. The first one that I like to touch on is my tourniquet. I carry the soft T tourniquet. It is someone from Special Forces after decades of war in Afghanistan and Iraq and all over the world developed this. I like it, it works real good. It's got some simple webbing. You're gonna slide it right up wherever you need. And again, there's 101 videos you can find with people more qualified than me to teach you how to do this. But you're gonna cinch it down nice and tight, take this nice metal windlass, spin it around a few times, put it in the little chute here, and then secure it down with the little plastic thing back here, and you're good to go. What this is gonna do, any major bleed you may have, it's going to completely stop the blood loss and let you live long enough to get that search and rescue team out to save you. Next thing we'll go over, tape. This is just your standard white athletic tape. You've probably seen it in your trainer's office if you played high school sports or college sports or something like that. It's nothing fancy. It is the end-all be-all for fixing stuff up, whether you got a scratch or an abrasion you want to cover, whether you got a sore, twisted ankle. You can wrap yourself up with this and be good to go. We also have nitrile gloves. These are just your standard little blue plastic gloves you always see doctors putting on, and it's going to stop all the bad stuff, the bacteria, the blood, the, potentially AIDS if you're hunting with Matt, to get from him to you. Obviously, I hunt with some nasty guys. You've seen Tom, you've seen Shane. They're kind of on the grosser side, so anytime I'm doing anything with them, I like to wear these, even if it's not a medical thing. After that is just your standard gauze, right? It's like anything you see in any medical field. It's white, it's absorbent, it's fluffy, and if you got a boo-boo, you're just gonna wrap it around there. It's gonna keep the bad stuff out and the good stuff in, whether it be blood, pus, whatever. It also helps with binding it together a little bit, keeping that wound tighter, that way it can heal better. Good old-fashioned duct tape. I do carry some duct tape in my medical bag because you can never discount how good duct tape is. I think many people would agree duct tape and WD-40 could fix about any problem in the world. I believe in that as well. It's the end-all catch-all that I carry with me. I have some triangle bandages to go with my gauze. Very similar. It helps strap your medical stuff to the body. We have some combination pads. It's almost like an H bandage, if any of you are familiar with that. It just doesn't have the ace wrapping around it. It's a giant gauze pad that you can stick on there, wrap up with the triangle bandage or athletic tape or duct tape. And again, it helps cover everything up, keep it protected. I got a couple of those. I do have a sterile sponge. That way, if you got some pus, some goo, some nastiness, you gotta start dabbing stuff out. You're not blowing through your gauze. You have this to use as well. Then, I got some good old-fashioned sterile alcohol prep pads. Just like your mom used to do when you got a boo-boo playing with friends before she kissed it and made it feel better. She'd wipe it down with alcohol. She probably just poured some on there, it burned, it stung a little bit. I don't like carrying the whole bottle. These are like the little wet wipes you get from Buffalo Wild Wings after you eat your meal. And it just comes with a pre-soaked little piece of cloth and alcohol that helps clean up the wound and disinfect it before you do anything else. Next, we'll go over some Quick Clot. If you guys don't know what this is, some science nerds got together and figured out that they can make this cool powder stuff that actually makes your blood coagulate and dry and harden faster. So if you have a huge cut, gash, one of your buddies is an idiot and accidentally shot himself or shot someone else or did something they weren't really supposed to do and now they're bleeding, instead of just pouring that powder in there and making the blood stop, you can actually take this gauze that has the powder made into it and stuff it in there. And not only does it help seal the wound from the gauze, but that Quick Clot powder helps the blood coagulate and stop the bleeding. Then you'll just put some more gauze over it, a H bandage, a wrap, maybe a tourniquet, and you're good to go. If that doesn't work, you can always do my favorite, which is an Assorted surgical suture kit. I picked this one up for about 15, 20 bucks on Amazon. For another 15 or 20 bucks, I was able to get a really cool piece of fake skin with a bunch of different cuts in it. And using a cool little scissory things that I got with the case that reminds me of when I used to go fishing, you can practice your sutures. That way, if somebody does get a cut where some of the other things I've mentioned don't necessarily fix it, you can use this and you can actually stitch your buddy up out on the mountain. I haven't had a chance to do this yet. I'm very surprised that Matt lets me bring this with us because I'll be honest, I'm kind of waiting for the day that he lets me stitch him up out in the middle of the woods. But it's a big thing that I practice with at least a week before we go out every time, just to make sure my skills are fresh in case we need it. I think this is a big one. Anything smaller than needing this, I can probably fix with what else I have. Anything bigger than needing this, it's serious enough that we're gonna have to press that little button on our Garmin InReach and get a search and rescue team out there. And the last thing we're gonna end with is good old-fashioned adhesive bandage. You can never go wrong with just having some good old Band-Aids. Not every injury out in the backcountry is something major. Sometimes it's just a little nick, little cut, little scratch. Clean up with the Band-Aid, be on your way, call it a day. So this is what I carry in my med kit. Hopefully you guys can add some of this in. Maybe you guys can tell me what you guys carry that I don't already. I'm always down for learning. But this has been Scott with Deer and Donuts Outdoors. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow the rest of our videos. Go reach us over on Instagram. Having a good time over there. It's Deer and Donuts Outdoors as well. And until next time, hope you get outside.